take in all the data here. Now we're just going to take a look at the earthquakes of the past week. The most recent are in the very southern part of California. Let's head down the coast. And if you notice that it's only the United States which has detailed readings. They have the most sensitive equipment. Around. There must be a pattern to it. It's like they're getting bombed. Their harbor is getting bombed. They suffered one hit on the land. We're seeing more activity up and down the western side of the Americas on the Pacific coast and here in the Gulf of California. It just happened. The shake map is here, and I can tell you for sure that this one did occur. Quite a verification when you can verify things. So I filled out the form for Did You Feel It? DYFI. As you can see here, my email and my favorite artist name here that I've been using for 25 years. Let's go back to the map. So I'm wondering if we're going to be feeling any more. This is what I just felt. You have a little one. It's up the north coast into California. That's actually Southern California. This is unusual though. But we have one in Indonesia. But the unusualness is this Romanian quake. typically that doesn't get a lot of quakes. It's not even a fault line that they know of. Let's check the weather map really quick here. The jet stream was really blowing in across North America at a northwest angle. Northeast, blowing in from the southwest, and it was just pumping movement and energy into the center part of the United States. So this is centering on my location here, and what we want to do is look at the United States. Let's see if they show any more tornadoes. Basically just the one that happened, and they're reporting some damage to houses. No injuries. Now, the threat is not over yet. We still have a lot of energy there on the radar, and a lot of lightning strikes along with it. What I like with this program, the Wonder Map, you get a lot of features. Here's the frontal boundaries, and let's take a look at satellite early this morning today. It's Thursday, April 3rd. You can see this lot of moisture here, and that is occurring over the Midwest and the Great Lakes. So looks like Chicago and the surrounding region could be getting hit. Snowfall is predicted for north of there. Just a lot of precipitation in those valleys. I think that's part of the Ohio Valley and also the upper Mississippi Valley. Let's see if they record any snowfall as of yet. No, nothing. Just up in the Dakotas and off to the Rocky Mountains area. What I find interesting is the webcam. So let's see if anybody gives a webcam from the area that got hit with the tornado. Zoom in here. Oh, that was very close to the center of St. Louis. Look like we have one webcam here, but that's not live because they should have sunlight right now. Then we're talking about the western side of St. Louis. Yeah, here's a live shot. Well, the tornado watch is still on, so we may continue this in a moment. This is the Eclipse cycle called the Saros 136. That's a Saros series. I'm not qualified at this time to explain how the Saros series are calculated, but this is a visualization as to where they will appear in their totality above the Earth, geographically placed, and this is predictable. You can see all the dates up here. Now there's this talk about eclipses and red blood moons. John Hagee is one of the crackpot Christian evangelists that thinks that he can interpret that. He's going back to the biblical book of Joel and blah, 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 blah. He really doesn't know anything about astronomy because they don't practice astrology. And if they cannot interpret such things, then they're not qualified to speak about it in the way that the prophets did. First, figure out the Antikythera device. The Antikythera is an amazing mechanism that was found and not understood for many, many years until they were able to X-ray it. They had the technology to be able to look through instead of taking the thing apart. It's welded together, much like what happens when something rusts. It becomes fused together. But they were able to analyze it and reconstruct it. There are some reconstructions that are working models. That's one of the most fascinating things. But this here is by the ancient Greeks to calculate eclipses. They knew how to do such a thing.
Water.
So the lightning strikes have moved to the southwest of where they were last night, the storms overnight. And we have severe storms right now going from Missouri, lower Mississippi Valley, Arkansas, Kansas. So they have shifted, and that's where the instability is going to be. So the system is receding back to where the winds had come in from the jet stream. That's how I would look at it since last evening, about 16 or so hours ago. And the frontal system has shifted over. You had this division that was over Arizona and New Mexico, now is over Texas. And we still only have one verified tornado, but the watch is on for the next 2 days. We're still in the middle of it, and we would expect some tornadoes. I'm thinking, just as an amateur here, that the warning areas are going to be for Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, possibly into Texas. So let's see what they say over here. Flash flood watches because of the heavy rain. Tornado watches. Okay, so it's kind of right. They don't mention too much about Kansas, but it is Missouri. They have a lot of that. They've got the blue is lake wind advisories. The orange, fire weather warning, blowing dust. So that's really windy. So across from New Mexico into Texas, all the way across to Louisiana and the border here of the Mississippi is going to be windy with tornadoes possible. So that's really high danger area for anybody there for the rest of today.